Outwitted by Edwin Markham. He drew a circle that shut me out. Heretic, rebel, a thing to flout. But love and I, the wit to win, we drew a circle that took him in. This is Outwitted by Edwin Markham, an American poet who lived from 1852 to 1940. This is, a short poem. I think it is one that has a lot of deeper meaning. So a little bit of history first. I first came across this poem myself in this book. This is called Poems for Modern Youth. It was edited by Giles Benet in 1938. This is the first collection of poetry that I sort of ran across, and this was in it. And I've remembered it for about the last 12 years or so. You know, off and on. I opened up the book, ran across this one. I remembered it. Singing in the shower, that sort of thing. Occasionally this comes out, or I'll remember a line or something, and I'll go, I know that something, for 12 years or so. So it goes on for a while. Originally quite old. It's something that's a little harder to find nowadays. This collection itself, as being written in 1938, doesn't include very many modern poets. So that's how I've run across this guy. He's relatively obscure, and not something you're gonna really find in a book of like modern American poetry or anything like that. So onto the poem. So it's called Outwitted. Now that's kind of for obvious reasons. The guy's trying to make a circle. He's doing something, and we win because we have wit, right? We drew a circle to take him in. We outwitted him, right? We also, in a way, outcircled him, outfought him. We won, essentially, by using our brain. Because it isn't a poem about fighting face to face. This isn't a poem about battle. This isn't a poem about struggle. But in a way, it is. It's a poem, obviously, where we're fighting with the guy. We're trying to beat him in some way. Now, what are we trying to beat him at? First line suggests, he drew a circle that shut me out. So this suggests an emotional thing. He's drawing a circle and he's shutting me out. You've seen this before. Maybe with talking with a teenage kid, right? Or talking with a friend who just isn't at a good age, right? Or who doesn't really want to get to know you, or got into something that he doesn't want to tell you about. Just someone who's drawing a circle around themselves and just doesn't want to let you in, wants to push you away, right? Maybe they're getting new friends, maybe they're getting a new circle that's not so great, maybe they moved on, maybe they're different and you aren't, maybe you're different and they aren't ready to deal with that and they react negatively to making a circle. But the idea is you can visualize this, you can see this in your head. The guy that we're talking about, right? So we have the speaker who is me, right? But we notice the speaker comes after, right? The speaker isn't the focus here. It's he. The speaker is focused on the other guy. Okay? And he's obviously kind of pissed off, right? Because what's next line? Heretic, rebel, a thing to flout. This is not the phrase of someone who is looking kindly on, the pitiful little kid just needs some time to figure things out. This guy is dangerous. This guy is mean. This guy is crazy. This guy is a heretic. He's saying things that shouldn't be said. He's thinking things that shouldn't be thought. He's a rebel. He's fighting against authority. He's fighting against the way things are supposed to be, right? It's a thing to flout. I know that's where it gets interesting, right? Because flout is not really something that you say to mean, it's not a super negative word. It's more something. So to flout means to sort of ignore. To ignore or fight against by ignoring, right? You flout the rules, for example. Or flouting him, right? We're not paying attention to him. He's just run a circle, he doesn't want us in, we're done with him, alright? He's saying crazy things, he's talking crazy things, and we're going to ignore him. Now, you can visualize this, you can imagine this, right? Maybe this is in a religious sense. He's a heretic. He's actually a heretic, right? Protestant Catholic fights, for example, in Europe, within the memory of Edwin Markham. He probably talked to grandparents who were like, yeah, I remember the Protestant Catholic wars. This could be something as simple as the Church of England. This could be something as pilgrims, Mormons, whatever you want. New Hindu arrivals, Buddhism, as a religious center. That's obviously easy to figure out. He's drawing a circle. He's saying, this is how things are. This is where I'm standing. I'm standing on this religion, or I'm standing on this belief, right? It can be a political belief. I'm standing on this political stance, maybe abortion, or gun rights, or death row, or how we should deal with China, or civil rights of any sort in any nation or any time period, right? Oh, that's not right. Okay? He's a rebel, right? This suggests to me, so I've always felt this is sort of a love poem, right? So a rebel. Now, I got talking with a guy, and I like him, or like her, in my case. It gets a little confusing when you think of it that way, but we move past that, right? The pure essence of love and all that. So if we're drawing a circle, he's drawing a circle, he's showing me out. Here's a thing about, I'm just kind of done with him, but you can't give it up, right? Maybe he's your kid, right? Maybe he's a friend in trouble, but whatever the reason, you know you've had enough, you know you can do it, but you're not quite ready to give up yet, right? You know he's in a bad place, you know he's saying dumb things, or maybe there's a more negative version of looking at that, you drew a circle to shut me out. Maybe you're a deadbeat dad, and this kid is just like, nope, go the hell away from me. Heretic, rebel, a thing to flout. Maybe you're actually the evil tyrant, right? Maybe you're a stalker, right? And this girl is just like, I am not interested, go away before I call the police. You can have a dangerous idea here, right? Because we're getting one side of it. But there's this subtext you could look at. You could look at it in a positive way, or you could look at it in a negative way. And those two are very different things. It gives you very different ideas from the same words. Right? So next we get, but love and I had the wit to win. Now, in a positive sense, that is good, right? The son into drugs. Well, you know what, we understand he's kind of alone, but we're here for him, we form bonds of family, and we'll slowly surround him. It's an intervention style. This could very well be an intervention, literally. We're intervening to save his life. We're intervening to stop his habit. We're intervening so he stops wearing silly hats. Anything of that sort. Or it could also be, in romantic, right? Love and I, love and I, we together, me and Cupid, we got this. We figured out how to catch his attention. Maybe it's just a crush. You're like, okay, this always put me in mind. So when I originally learned this, I was in high school, and this put me in mind of high school things. So one of the things, that you might have run across in, say, your freshman year, or you, not me, of course, may well have been, that's a pretty girl. All right, how do I get to know her? I'm way too shy to go up and ask her or talk to her, but I'm actually friends with one of her friends. Let's try hanging out with them a little bit. Let's try to know her friends, like know her, so friend cross her, accidentally. So, and of course now it sounds like that's a little stupid, or that's a little stalkerish, or wow, I was a little coward, right? Or whatever reason it is, right? It could be negative, and then you look back and you go, oh my God, what the hell was I thinking? Or it could be positive, you go, oh yeah, that was a time when I had dreams. There's ways to look back at this, right? So the core bit of this line is love and wit. Okay, wit, it's smart, okay? We got it. And the wit bit is saying something about love. It's saying love is not force, love is not power, love is not strength. Love is more insidious than that. Love is gentler than that. Love is more powerful than that. This isn't about fighting with your fists. This is about fighting with your heart. Okay? Now, there's a positive and negative side to love, of course. Love can be positive. We helped him. We're here for him. We're going to let him go his own way. We're going to figure it out. Or, we need to get him off the heroin or the drinking or whatever, so we're going to escort him to a Alcoholics Anonymous meeting, or, a house of some sort. Or it could be, oh no, my son's gay. We got to save him. It could be, like what I mentioned, a deadbeat dad. You've probably heard this or run across this or seen this, Oh yeah, deadbeat dad. Oh yeah, I didn't see you for the first 15 years of your life, and now I'm going to come back and try to get in with you. And, oh, look, it turns out you need money. Or it turns out, well, one of your siblings is like into family and kind of wants to get to know me, and I know I was a complete jackass to you, but we're gonna conquer that with love. Maybe it's good, maybe it's bad. It's all in how you look at it. And it's circles within circles, right? Now I'm mentioning stuff that I've seen or that I've heard or that I've done, right? And it could be something, I might think of in the future. Like, I don't have a kid, right? But I can see how that is. And I can think back, oh, I've seen how people act with kids, I can be able to talk about a high school or a dad. I'm like, oh, well, what's that me in the future, right? Or someone I've seen, it's circles within circles within circles. It isn't just something that is there. It is everywhere, right? Circle with me at the center. It's a circle that someone touches, or I touch the periphery of a circle. I see just a glimpse or a sign. And there's something deeper there, right? There's more. The circle is actually complete. That's where the fourth line comes in. We drew a circle that took him in. Now for me, this is very interesting. Right? So, obviously, we get the wit here, right? And it's poetic. It makes sense. It's just retribution and all that. We beat his circle by making another circle. It's a circle. It comes back to haunt him. What he tried to do to us, we're doing to him, but we're doing it better because we're smarter, or love is stronger than obstinacy, or whatever the case may be. Now, notice he drew a circle that shut me out, and now me and love, right, or I, as I usually think of this, drew a circle that took him in. Now, that's interesting, right? So if you draw a circle, right? Now, what can we say with the circle? Now, this is the inside of the circle, the outside of the circle. Or you flip it around, right? This is the outside of the circle, this is the inside of the circle. Now, it doesn't make much sense, right? But, things like mathematics or topological theory. There are an infinite number of lines on a point, right? An infinite number of points in a line. So there are an infinite number of points in a field. So there are just as many points on the inside as on the outside. So there's no way to distinguish the outside from the inside. That's just something I pull off the top of my head by referencing mathematics and philosophy and whatnot. Or it could be a poetic. If we drew a circle to entangle him, to take him over, it's like asking, okay, who are the prisoners? Is it the prisoners or the jailers? Because now we're constrained. Now we've got a circle, right? Now we're containing him. Now we're surrounding him. Now we're centered and focused on him. And we can't move from this spot. Oh no, we had a kid, and oh right, now I'm stuck with this for the next century. Why, if you have these feelings and whatnot, oh my gosh. You can regret that. Or it could be powerful, right? You love somebody and you're actually controlling him. Your love is so powerful that he can't escape, right? This circle that you drew to link you and love to fight off his obstinacy is now a prison for him. Or it could be a circle that is actually supporting and comforting, right? And that is, for me, the first thing I think of, supporting and comforting. But this bit here, you see, has another term, right? So originally, he drew a circle that shut me out, and now I'm drawing a circle that took him in, right? So he drew a circle to separate us. And I drew a circle that is, in effect, bringing us together. What's interesting about that? We both drew circles. He drew a circle that did something, then I responded by drawing a circle, right? So, imagine this, he draws a circle, I draw a circle. He draws a circle, I draw a circle. Well, that's one way to win, right? That's one way to fight, If he drew a circle, shut me out, and then Liv and I won by drawing a circle that took him in, then how does he win again? Well, he has to draw a circle, obviously, that beats my circle. And he's going. This could be a metaphor for some kind of really weird war, right? Or some really weird, one-uppance in a relationship. Or it could be a metaphor for the expanding circle of love throughout the world. And all that. But this mention of circles, these stories, this idea, it's all in these four lines, right? Now, these circles that I'm talking about, to me, what this poem means a lot of, the reason that this poem has a lot of meaning is because I've remembered it for a long time. I've remembered it through early high school, into early college, into moving on town, into going overseas, into coming back to college, into getting a job, into into relatives dying, into having different relationships, into 1,000 things, just life, these circles of life, the boundaries and the roads you go down. Sorry. and you start to see it differently. Now this is something that's interesting about a poem or a story that you read, right? If it's deep enough, right, if you see far enough into it, you see more than you think. And what you see today is not what you see the next day. What you see that day is not what you see the next year. And what you see that year is not the same as the thing you see a decade from that. So these circles, right, it's more like a spiral to me. It's a spiral that keeps going and going and growing and growing. And it looks like a circle, but it isn't really a circle. You know, where's the center? You're trying to figure it out. It's philosophy and trying to find your place in the world. And in a way, you're on a circle, right? You're on the circle of life. You're in the wheel of life. You're literally on a wheel. You're rolling down the road, and things come up again and again. And you're like, I've seen this before. I've seen this before. I've seen this before. I've felt this before. I've been in the same problem before. I've been in the same trouble. You know, slight differences, slight variations. It's very similar. Now, this is to me an example of the way to look at poetry, or to think about or believe poetry. You know, poetry says something you can't say in words, but you can perhaps see it in time. You know, you can understand it in life through time. It changes, you know. Now, that's the question, you know. Is it the poem that changes over time, or is it me? Or is it my understanding? How does this all work together? He doesn't know the clear answer. The way I see and the way I think of this poem right now is probably not the way I'm going to see or think of this poem in 10 years. There's more depth, there's more struggle, there's more trying to find out. And that's why this is my favorite poem, Outwitted by Edwin Markham.